What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to game number 2 here between Lalush and ProdiGY. This time we are on Antigua Shipyard. We've got ProdiGY as our red Terran player spawning in the upper right hand spawn location, and then down over here in the lower left hand position, Lalush as the blue Zerg. So yes, this is game number 2 here between ProdiGY and Lalush. Game 1 going to Lalush with a amazing speedling counterattack as ProdiGY was pushing out. Unfortunately for ProdiGY, he had a lowered supply depot allowing all his speedlings into his main, killed off every single SCV he had, and it was just devastating, absolutely devastating. ProdiGY could not really recover from that. He attempted with what he had for units to do some damage, but we just saw some mass queen defense by Lalush to help deal with those banshees, and there you go, that was that. Now Lalush moving out here with his overlord. We'll firstly be checking that upper left-hand spawn location. However, as we know, ProdiGY is not there, so we'll be rerouting that overlord most likely, trying to probably tuck it away over here, or quite possibly over here as well, once he realizes where ProdiGY is. Now, ProdiGY has finished his first depot, and ooh, looks like he won't be getting a Rax at 12, which you typically do. We'll have to keep an eye on him. He may be going command center first, which would be incredibly risky, especially given what happened last game. I mean, losing that game within about 10 minutes, basically. As soon as he lost all of his SCVs, that game was over. He carried it on a little bit longer, but it doesn't really matter. We do have a drone moving out now, and that will be for a 15 hatch here for Lalush, and there it is, 15 hatch getting dropped down. Still no barracks here for ProdiGY, so ProdiGY will be going command center first. Unbelievable. We'll once more see what happens here, whether or not Lalush does scout it in time and is able to respond at all. Now, so spawning pool finally coming out here for Lalush. He drops out a 15 supply, and yes, we'll be finishing about both of them at about the same time. The hatchery and that spawning pool should be finishing at relatively the same time. And finally coming out with that Rax right now, and we'll be walling off shortly as well there with the supply depot. But you know what the thing is here? There's still no scouting at all by Lalush. Lalush has not scouted out ProdiGY. He hasn't made a concentrated effort to do so. He's finally moving out with a drone, but that's going to be a bit too late, as we are going to see that supply depot get dropped, and there it is, full wall off here for ProdiGY. Now, the one thing that we need ProdiGY to do is finish that Rax before the scout gets over here, and if that happens, then in all honesty, Lalush will have no clue. If he gets there before it finishes, then he'll realize it's a late build of a barracks, and actually in not spotting a marine, that would also tell him. But he's not even bothering. He does not. ProdiGY is going to get away with this, and Lalush will have no idea for a while now, as he does not even bother moving down with the drone. Why did he not bother moving down with the drone? Well, if we saw that typical 12 Rax, then by the time his drone got there, he would have expected a marine to already be out. That still, though, I really wish he had moved out with that, because in spotting no marine, he would have been tipped off to the fact that there is a command center coming out very, very early. But unfortunately, no, Lalush will not be privy to this information at all. We've got those overlords moving across the map right now. Another, oh, that's not another Rax, that's a factory. He dropped that refinery. It's coming out that factory as well. So we're going to be pretty low on marine count early on. We'll have a little bit of a tough time defending himself. It looks like we'll be seeing a reactor get placed down as well, as he is going for that transition into Hellions, I'm assuming here. Got one speedling over there. Second speedling down in this location. He's finally making his way on up. We'll be doing what he can to get some scouting intel now. He obviously knows there's marines somewhere around here, just not where yet. Yeah, seeing, okay, no expansion, so still not a lot of information. It just killed me how little Lalush is scouting right now. We got a metabolic boost coming on through. SCV scout makes it up into the main. Scouts the fact that spawning pool is moving all willy-nilly, and that implies that there is research coming out of it. When you see those little finger spines moving back and forth and the pool's all shimmery, that pretty much tells you what's going on. So, Zergling, where did he go? Did he get taken out? There he is, corpse of the Zergling right there on the ramp. Finally disintegrates. What actually happens to it? Is it just like, it doesn't evaporate? I don't know what happens to the corpse of these units. They just kind of disappear. They should stay all game. That should at least be an option. They should make that option. Corpses stay permanently for the entirety. Could you imagine for the entirety of a StarCraft match there were just corpses everywhere? That'd be awful. Overlord Scout moving into position, getting ready for some sacrificial scouting in a couple of minutes, and another expansion here from ProdiGY. He's going for a quick third. How risky is that? Very, very risky indeed. Two Hellions making their way across the map, and two more coming out as well. So let's see how much scouting and or damage he can do. He might actually be able to get this creep tumor. That's going to pop in time. He's all set. We do have a Roach Warren up over here. Again, trying to go for some sort of a wall. If this is the same type of funneling action that we saw last game from Lalush with an Evolution Chamber, Roach Warren, and a Spine Crawler. Just making it so that it's not a clear path right into his base. Kind of wants to disrupt any push if it does come as much as possible. Try to funnel his units in, basically. A couple speedlings. We got a bunch of roaches coming out here as well. Drone is trying to move out. Not sure what his intention is, though. It looks like he will be trying to go for a third, but not going to be able to happen as ProdiGY here with those Hellions will be denying that. Will not be until those roaches finally pop that he'll be able to attempt to push out. A couple more Hellions joining the fray here as well. What do we got? A total of 6 Hellions right now in play. And here it comes. Spinecrawler moving down. Roaches moving down as well. Speedlings. All this just a buffer for the drone as he attempts to move down and get this expansion up and running. And there it is. Hatchery gets dropped. And now Lalush has a third of his own. But ProdiGY will be pretty much on par here as he's working on saturating that natural expansion before he lifts off this orbital and drops it over in that third position. Here comes that sacrificial Overlord Scout right now, making its way into the base. He'll be spotting a Rax Heavy. We got one factory here, and that's it. That's going to be coming out with a Marine Tank is what we'll be seeing here from ProdiGY. And Lalush is going to get a full scout of that and scout that command center and or orbital command, if you will. And that's not what ProdiGY wanted at all. I am surprised it took him that long to respond. A couple of roaches taking map control now as those Hellions don't stand a chance. We got a full wall off here, plus a bunker in the center. So won't be seeing much of any damage coming here from Lalush. I'm a little surprised, though, that ProdiGY let that Overlord get all of that scouting intel. That's so much information there for Lalush. He knows that ProdiGY has gone for a very, very early third. And as a result, he knows not to expect a lot of aggression, so he's got a lot of options in his immediate choice. Let's take the high-yield expansion. Lalush going straight to that high yield, realizing again that it's still going to be a little while before ProdiGY is ready to push. If you take a quick third like that and spend the resources to turn it into an orbital command, you just do not have the resources necessary to actually have a strong enough force to push out. So that's exactly what we're going to see there in response by Lalush. Just get that third, get that fourth base there, get that high yield expansion. Baneling's Nest coming out, 2 of them. What in the Sam hell is going on? 2 Baneling Nests coming out here for Lalush. I do not know why. I am completely perplexed and bewildered. That does not make any sense to me at all. But we do have 2 Baneling Nests coming out for Lalush, so he must have a reason. Maybe if he loses one, I don't know. There, finally canceling and deciding, hey, you know what? I don't need a second Baneling Nest. Let me come out with an infestation pit. Interesting position here. Let me talk on this for a second. You may be wondering, why here? Why isn't this kind of vulnerable? Well, he plans on basically keeping a bulk of his force in this general vicinity of the map. And having these here basically helps protect him a little bit against any drop harass. Drop harass typically hitting around that resource line. This is going to give him a little more space than if he were to put like an infestation pit back here. A lot of times when you see tech back here, it's very easy for a Terran player to drop and snipe it down. So I'm assuming that's his reasoning behind going with this building placement here. That second Baneling Nest was obviously a huge mistake because we saw him cancel it. Pathogen Glands coming out there for those infestors. He'll be waiting to actually build any infestors until that research gets close to finish. Hive Tech coming out as well, so Lalush feeling confident and teching very hard. Now Marine Tank, once more, is what we are seeing here from ProdiGY. He doesn't have any drops going on at the moment, and actually, taking a quick look, there's not even a starport in play, so he's not going for any air at all, not going for any medevacs whatsoever. I cannot find a starport as hard as I try. 2 weapons upgrades here, weapons and armor upgrade coming out for ProdiGY. A couple of Hellions moving across the map, trying to get some scouting information. Didn't manage to scout out that high yield, though, and those Zerglings going to be able to finally take those Hellions out. Now we do have a nice placement of a sensor tower. Look at that. Look at how much that thing sees. Unbelievable, especially on a map like this. This is a pretty like medium to small sized map, and you can see one sensor tower almost takes up a 1/4 of the map. It is unbelievable the amount of intel you can get from that. So we're going to be seeing here Infestor, Speedling, Baneling, and a couple of roaches in the mix as well. We're not obviously seeing any mutaploy here from Lalush. He's opting not to go for that. We'll have to keep an eye on what comes out after that Hive Tech does finish there, and we do have those infestors now popping. He's got a total of 5 infestors and 7 in production. Wow, Lalush going so infestor heavy here. Level 2 upgrade there. for his melee damage on those Zerglings. Now finished, and here come those adrenal glands. So immediately after that hive gets those adrenal glands. So he's going for those crackling upgrades there, and those infestors again. Oh my gosh, that is so many infestors. he's got what, 5 in place? So he'll be sitting on 12 infestors. That is nuts. That's just a little more than you normally see. That's why I say that's nuts. It's just a bit much. I just keep checking there, ProdiGY. I like to do that to just see if there's any drops or anything fancy going on. I think that's the best way for me to check, because sometimes it's hard to spot them. But anyways, here we go, moving up to an Ultraless Cavern right now. So we'll be seeing some Ultras come out eventually. We may very well be seeing a push here from Lalush as he finishes these upgrades. Level 3 melee attack coming out, level 2 Carapace upgrade, those adrenal glands, plus all of those infestors that he has. He can do just so much damage. But a nice spread here from ProdiGY, though. Actually really impressed by this. He's got a decent spread of his tank line and his Marines, just keeping everything nice and distant as much as possible. Doesn't want to clump up too much. Speedling's moving across the map. We'll be working down these rocks as he moves down into this expansion. This is unbelievable. Lalush just has total map control right now. He's got some massive upgrades coming out. Now, we also have pretty solid upgrades coming out here for ProdiGY. He's actually working his way up into 3-3 upgrades right now. And he's already finished those 2-2, planning to try to take the base here at the center. I don't know if that's going to happen, though. Lots of Speedlings moving down. A couple of Infestors moving out to help as well. We have that tank line, but actually these 2 infested Terrans will be forcing back that command center. And again, we've got an expansion over here and an expo over here. Infested Terrans get taken out, but that's not a big deal to Lalush at all, as those only did cost some energy. A couple Spine Crawlers getting placed there at the high ground. Again, he's really determined to stop this expansion from going. Nice fungal growth. Moving up with those Zerglings and actually forcing splash damage against those little Marauders there. That was pretty nice. Nice play. Only threw away a couple of Zerglings, and here come a few more infested Terrans to try to shoot down this command center, do as much damage as possible. Tank line slowly creeping forward, though, and a bunch of infested Terrans will be dropped down and trying to force some splash. Unfortunately, not close enough to those tanks. And here it comes. Need to be careful with those infestors. We're going to see those tanks try to target fire those down. Actually managed to drop a few of those. That is not what Lalush wants to do. He needs to be very careful. Those infestors so very heavy, so very expensive. They're not heavy. They're like medium-sized, medium weight. A couple of Marines pushing forward. There's the scan, making him aware of the high ground Spine Crawlers. We've got those Ultras in play. That scan is also spotting those. A couple of Fungal Growths taking out those Marines. We also saw some forced splash damage there. Expansion nice and safe, up and running. That expansion just got scanned. But still, I'm not seeing any drops at all. In fact, again, I still don't think there are any medevacs. No medevacs in play, just 2 Vikings. So he won't be dropping at all. How did I not spot those? There's 4 medevacs in play. I'm a dummy. And here's one group of them dropping right over here. So we have a drop that will actually be attempting to push onto this expansion. I'm assuming tank line moving forward. Here come those Ultras, Speedlings, and Banelings trying to engage this tank line. Infestors getting dropped down by target fire from those tanks. Lots of Marines spread here, helping a bit. And those upgraded Marines with that 3-3 tearing through those Ultras. Unbelievable. ProdiGY took that out not without issue, but he's still alive. He's still in this. I really thought that he was out of this game just because of how dominant it seemed like Lalush was in the position. A couple of nicely placed Fungal Growths allowing those Ultras to actually catch up to that bio. A little bit of a bio push moving down over here. We firstly taking out these Spine Crawlers and then going straight for that expansion. So there you go. Lalush will be losing this now as he moves down to try to defend. We've got a little bit of mobilization over here for ProdiGY. ProdiGY again really determined to try to get this expansion up. That's creep tumors and that creep spread, making that near impossible though. Nice Fungal Growth and letting those Banelings catch up to that bio. And then we've got a Fungal Growth and a couple of infested Terrans getting dropped down. So these medevacs should be taken out. There it is. He did lose that expansion. We'll be rebuilding that hatchery though. More bio moving across the map here for ProdiGY. Getting that tank line ever closer. He wants to get just within range to drop those creep tumors. And then he'll just be dropping a scan. And it looks like Lalush may be losing center of the map control. There's the scan. Creep tumors getting taken out. Bio moving up, taking out these spines here. A couple Ultras moving forward. They'll be walking into some tank splash damage though. They're in this choke, and that's going to let them take massive damage from that tank line. However, they are so beefy, they continue to push forward. Level 5 armor on those, actually. Lots more bio coming to rejoin this fray here. Going to be careful to push back. And a couple more tanks still set up shop. Now, that creep has been receded a little bit, and just enough for him to actually land this expansion. Expanding so very close to the bulk of the army, but he does not really care. There's another scan spotting the army just to check what's going on. Here comes some Vikings for vision there for that tank line as well. So even though Lalush really had map control for quite a while, ProdiGY with just a slow and methodical tank and bio push was eventually able to take that center. Now we are going to see Lalush try to take it back here as he makes his way towards this command center. Speedlings, Banelings, Ultras, we got everything. Ultras moving in from the other side as well. A couple of Infestors still in play. Banelings trying to work their way through, but that tank line persists as there's more and more back there. More bio pushing forward. Now we're going to see ProdiGY force the lift off this command center here. And it looks like all his Ultras, fearful of that fully upgraded bio army with that stim pack, deciding to pull back right now. Just unreal. ProdiGY keeps fighting back this massive late tech army here from Lalush with just his bio and a little bit of a tank line, as Speedling's going to be swooping up there on those units. But nice lift off of the medevacs. We're going to see this fungal growth and a couple of infested Terrans. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to drop that, though. There's another fungal growth, so those infested Terrans should be taking out those medevacs. Does he get it? Ah, there we go. He gets one. That one managed to make it away just barely. Burning command center. Is it going to get repaired? Down to 10, 9, 5, 3, 2. That is it. Command center gets dropped. He could have dropped a mule or something to take care of that, but he didn't. Don't know why. Hefty tank line here for ProdiGY. He just continues to push his bio and tank line further and further towards the center of the map. He's determined to take this high yield expansion, primarily because he knows expanding elsewhere is going to be very difficult. It's just, you know, it's not very easy for him to take any other positions that he can't easily move down to defend. Tank line there. Actually, ooh, engaging those Speedlings. I think they should have gone straight for that expansion. Get a full surround, though, killing off a few tanks there. A couple of Infestors moving down, dropping some Infested Terrans, but there's still some more bio. Infested Terrans over here going to be engaging that bio. Infestors need to be careful. Bio might be sniping them down. Nice fungal growth, rooting them in place. We got a couple more Ultras on the high ground, and they're actually moving down to engage right now. And oh my gosh, what's going on? There's too much going on now. Bio being engaged there by that Ultra getting too close to that tank line, though. Will be forced to retreat. A couple of Marines and Marauders managed to take that out. More Speedlings moving forward to try to engage that bio over there. And we've got ProdiGY attempting to take an Expo over here. And why are there all these Overlords moving over here? I'm not sure exactly why Lalush did that. I'm assuming that was a misclick, a misrally or whatever. Attempt to drop over here, and that gets very close to sniping this hatchery. Lalush able to just barely defend it, though. These Overlords getting taken out. Lalush just throwing away so many Overlords. I'm assuming that was a big mistake, unless he was trying to keep those Overlords over there as distracting fire, while the rest of his force actually did damage. But again, the battle was long but done. And yeah, he still had guys there. And nice forcing splash damage against these mules. Lalush assaulting this high yield. But again, ProdiGY so determined to take this expansion. He realizes that this is kind of necessary for him. We got a macro hatch or something like it over here for Lalush, and that gets taken out. Primarily, he's actually trying to make sure he could keep that creep spread up, but that's going to be receding just about now. And I don't know if Lalush knows about this. No, he does not know about this expansion. He is not aware of that. We got a big gathering here of Speedlings, Banelings, Ultras, and Mutas. And here it is right now, converging on ProdiGY's forces. Lalush trying to push here, getting a full surround there on those tanks. And there it is, overwhelming that tank line. Nice play there by Lalush, pulling from a different angle. Managed to get a full surround, and he's going to mop up everything here in the center of the map right now. We got some more bio trying to move down. Lalush should be able to take care of that, though, as he takes out that orbital command and will continue to push. So finally, Lalush able to break ProdiGY's line there. Again, he's had some severe economic advantage for quite a while now, as even though he lost some of his expansions, he has had so many expos up for quite a long time. We take a look at the income there, and the advantage is, of course, going to Lalush. In fact, Lalush trying to take that high yield now. We're going to have some bio pulled down, though, and actually drop this hatchery. Expansion over here still hasn't been scouted, or has it? Has it? Not yet. But there it is, finally scouting out that expansion. We'll be moving down with those Ultras and Speedlings and should be able to drop that without much of an issue. Now that tank line again for ProdiGY moving further and further forward. We got a lot of Banelings over here for Lalush. This game has just been nuts, guys. Bio moving forward to the center. We'll be trying to drop these creep timbers, probably dropping a scan as well. Ultras and Speedlings did manage to take out that expansion without issue. Banelings dropping that expo. And there's the GG from ProdiGY as Lalush denies him any mining. This game was absolutely nuts. I honestly don't know what else to say besides that. A constant back and forth here at this position of the map, right here at the center of the map, as we did see ProdiGY try over and over again to take this high yield expansion. He realized That was his only way to be continuously mining. That was his only safe expansion to take. However, some constant assailment from Lalush, and Lalush having an economical advantage for quite a good portion of the game allowed him to overcome that constant methodical push that we saw from ProdiGY, and that was that. So game number 2 going to Lalush. Right now, Lalush is up 2-0. Moving on to game number 3 in just a moment. As always, guys, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep owning. What a crazy game.